You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Happy Friday. Woohoo! Yeah. All right. The weekend is nearly here, and it is party time of the year, isn't it? So a lot of folks are going to get out of some fun this year. Social separation as you step up to the bar. Just saying. So, limited choice. Listen, if you can't laugh and smile at what's going on in this crazy world we're in right now, something's wrong. Limited choice is a good thing. We'll talk about that today. We have too many choices in our world, and it's a good thing to have it. There's no doubt about it. It means freedom for most people, but it is difficult. We'll chat about that today for you, okay? It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day, practical as well. It's a really simple philosophy, and the more I live, the more I just know it to be true. It's just all the agendas and all the chitter-chatter that's going on around you and inside your own head and everything else that makes it so difficult. It's very simple what we do here. When you understand that the very, 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 the Stoic philosophy, nobody else's, the Stoics said this, action. Life begins when you move. But you know what came before action? Clarity came before action. If you don't know where you're heading, the action. So lots of times if you're stuck in your where you are, it's because you just don't know where you're going to go. We talked about that yesterday. So then we move on to choice today, which we'll talk about. But it's a very simple concept. Life begins when you move. Life is going to get in the way. We get practical. We think it through. We stand up. We take a step. We repeat till we get what we want. That's it. That's the whole recipe. It's me, Scott Smith. Good to have you. A little bit of a common sense guy with the common name. Laying it on you today the way I do it. Not for everybody. If you're thinking to yourself right now, who is this dude? And I talked to Ron the other day. Ron says, I like your style, man. I said, really? You like my style? He goes, yeah, you're kind of laid back. You're kind of like, you're different. You're not like that rhymey motivational dude. I said, I'm not a motivational dude. I'm observing life. I'm figuring out what works. I'm spending a lot of time thinking about it, a lot of time working and studying and helping people, seeing the results. And powie, I show up and talk to you and sit. So I'm glad to have you here today. It's going to be a good show today. On Fridays, we always ask the question, and I encourage you to ask it this way. I say, how do I want to feel? You should say the same thing. Take a few minutes when the show's over today and just say, how do I want to feel? Now, here's what happens. Most people don't take the time to do that. They usually spend their time saying, you hurt my feelings, instead of saying, how do I want to feel? It's control. If you want to be happy, if you don't want to be angry, a lot of people are angry these days. If you don't want to be angry, the answer would be, how do you want to feel? Well, I don't want to feel angry. I want to feel happy. Okay. When you say, how do I want to feel? You empower yourself to be and to feel who you want to be and who you want to feel. Something about how I said that. Ask that question, how do I want to feel today? I promise you it's going to make a difference. You can put it on your Post-it note and put it on the bathroom mirror if you want to as well. That's a good thing to do. Actually, Huck, super duper advanced thing for you. Everybody on the planet will tell you, put a Post-it on the mirror, your affirmations, the whole thing. And what do? You go in there and you're drying your hair and you got your little brush and you're curling your hair and you're blowing it all over the place and you're ducking and bobbing and weaving all over the place because your Post-it notes are all over the mirror and you can't see your hair. So then you move them out of the way. Before you know it, they're all wet and crinkled and they're sitting down on the counter. Then they're wet with toothpaste on them. Then you finally throw them away and you forget about what you were going to do. So don't do that. If you're going to put your Post-it note, put it someplace you don't expect it. Put it on the frame of the door. Put it inside the refrigerator. Put it someplace that you don't expect to see it. So you're like, well, what's that doing there? Oh my God. It's like, do you know in Japan, they have a gum in Japan that they put Post-it notes inside the gum, inside the container, so that you don't spit your gum out and it'd be sticky everywhere. You wrap it up in the little itty bitty Post-it note and throw it away. See? Unexpected. Let's get on with the show today. Limited choice and why it is good. So my wife and I were, we were looking for something on Netflix. And I found myself repeating that Netflix scroll. I've done that a lot. Have you done that? Like in the old days, you turn on the TV and some program director in New York City said, here, watch this. Okay. Because you only had 2 or 3 more channels. And then even in the big old days when we had like 20 channels, and still somebody said, hey, watch this. And then this little thing called the internet came along and suddenly nobody curated our stuff anymore. They just threw stuff at us and the algorithm tried to read our mind. It doesn't work so well. Just watch some Netflix movies and you'll see how well the algorithm works right at the end. My wife and I call it being Netflixed. Did we just watch a whole movie? We got Netflix. There was no ending to that movie. What happened? Nonetheless, we were scrolling along and we were thinking, what are we going to watch? And finally the screen changed and the graphic said, hey, just play something. So those little freaky kids out in the Silicon Valley got smart. They said, well, we just got to play it for them, right? There was too much choice and they knew it. They gave me the choice. They put all that stuff in front of me and now they're saying, just play something. Well, the answer to that is no. You know why? Not because I don't like to explore, because I'm afraid of what you're going to show me. I've seen some of the stuff you have on Netflix. No, you don't get to do that to my brain. I get to choose my own stuff. Yes, I would like you to play something so I can put the remote down and pet my dog. But thinking back on the moment, it reminded me of a book I read a long time ago. Did you ever read the book in 2005? It's a silly question. You're thinking, Scott, 2005 is like a long time ago. Yes, I read a book back then. Because most people read 1 book a year, so I know I read 1 book a year. But I'm an advanced person, advanced human. I read 25 books that year. So which one is it, Scott? You're talking Barry Schwartz. The Paradox of Choice. Good stuff is good stuff. Never goes away. Like all these podcasts I make. It's good stuff. Never going to go away. It's good stuff. Aliens will listen to me in 400 years and go, my God. The book challenged traditional thinking that said maximum freedom comes from maximum choice. How silly we were. But listen, when you have nothing, when you come from the past that we all came from not so long ago, we didn't have a whole lot. Didn't have toilets until, we didn't have them until, it wasn't that long ago. When you come from that past and suddenly you have toilets and you have multiple toilets and you put one on the ceiling, put one on the floor, you don't have to go outside anymore. Choice is good, right? May feel good, but it also leads to something called decision fatigue. And I will tell you right now that I just believe there's a lot of decision fatigue going on in this country right now, in this world right now. It's purposeful, so there's too many choices out there. And the machine is feeding it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's all about growth. People want to grow. Companies want to grow. Everything needs to expand. That's what's happening right now. But there's so much choice, you have to really pull back and decide not to do that. You have to decide you're not going to engage in the choice factor. You're going to choose the things you like and do that. Too many choices, not necessarily a good thing. It creates a paralysis. It stops you. Not to mention, no matter what you choose, you'll always wonder if you could have done better. I work with a lot of people starting a business. I don't do a whole lot of the startup stuff anymore because, frankly, it's too much work. If you're not already rolling, it's just too much work to get you rolling. But what stops people in the beginning when they start a business is because there's so much choice and they want to do it all and they don't know what to do and what if I do this and what's going to happen if I don't do this, and they get stopped and they never get there. That's the problem. That's why I work with people a little bit further down the road. They've figured out what works. They've limited the choice. They do what works, which is what we do in life. Stop reinventing the wheel. Figure out what works and do what works. Again and again. Be bored if you have to. Just do what works. So number one, here's my advice. I will give you some today. You ready? Wait a second. I've given you a ton of advice already. If you've been listening, you can listen to this podcast 5 times. 5 times. I'm pull something new out of it every single time. How do I know that? Because people tell me that all the time. I put more in one podcast than most people put in a weekend seminar. You know it and I know it. And I'm just pat myself on the back and say, good stuff. All right, come on back in. Did I lose you yet? Or are you still here? Limit your choices. Having every option won't serve you. Narrow your list to things that get your attention. But Scott, everything gets my attention. Stop it. Squirrel. Limit your choices. Come on. Be a big boy. Be a big girl. Limit your choices. Be smart. You'll be happier. Number 2, if you find yourself confused, give yourself permission to look at another option. It may be that you're hanging on to something you're used to. Maybe some stinking thinking, right? And it may be that's why you're confused, because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to open another door. So I'm saying just give yourself permission not to get another choice, but to have a couple of more options out there that maybe you can find one and shift over to that. Be careful with that one. I almost didn't say that because that's, you're Scott said I got more choices. Come on. Common sense. If in doubt, I want you to choose to spend your time and your attention on what you know gives you the result you want. What? Well, it just makes sense, doesn't it? If all the choice in the world is there for you and you can't find a brand new movie that you want to watch on Netflix because you just don't know and you can't make up your mind, there is nothing wrong in the world with choosing a movie that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, and takes you back in time and makes you feel comforted. There's nothing bad with choosing what you know you already like and doing it again. In fact, I think that's what we do every single day. You should do some of that today as well. Too many choices. Bad. I'll see you Monday.